Ekam aksharam hृदि nirantaram bhasate swayam likyate katham. हृदय कुहर मध्ये केवलं ब्रह्ममात्रम् अहम् इति साक्षात् आत्मरूपेण भाति. स्वं चिन्वता मच्यता पवनचलनरूथा आत्मनिष्ठो भव त्वम्. देहं मृण्मयवत् जडात्मकम् अहं बुद्धिर्न तस्यास्त्यतो नाहं तत्तभावशुक्तिसमये सिद्धात्मसद्भावतः भावयुतः कुतो वरधिय दृष्टात्मनिष्टात्मना सोऽहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचल शिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयं. सोऽहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचल शिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयं. Namo Ramana. In this, the Thursday satsang from Sri Ramanacentre Center for Learning, it has been our practice to select 2 verses randomly from the work Guruvachakra Kovai, rendered by Muruganar Swamigal. The verse selection is done by Revatima. Each verse is read and the reading is followed by a short meditation on its meaning, and that is followed by the practice of Atma Vicharam for about 15 minutes. After these 2 segments of verse reading, meditation on meaning, and practice of self-enquiry are completed, there will be summing up remarks by Venkatesh Deshpande ji, and that will be followed by the offering of Sri Ramana Stotram. The chanting will be online by Vaibhavji and Pratnama. The puja is not available in the background, as I am also away. So the rest of us will be holding the self as to who is the real listener to the chanting. When the chanting is going on, who is the real listener is the enquiry that takes us to the self of all. And the satsang will conclude with the conclusion of Ashtotram. We begin with the first verse selected for us, verse number 63. Verse number 63 of Guru Vachaka Kovai. Though this world that manifests before our eyes, appearing and disappearing, does not exist all the time, it is still real when it appears. So insist some people with great confidence. We refute their assertion by questioning, is not the eternally existing nature one of the hallmarks of reality? Though this world that manifests before our eyes, appearing and disappearing, does not exist all the time, it is still real when it appears. So insist some people with great confidence. We refute their assertion by questioning, is not an eternally existing nature one of the hallmarks of reality? So the going back from gold to the ornaments are also real when they appear as ornaments, or the waking state world is real so far as it appears having got the reality from the substratum. This is a mistake we can make. And commonly, the Sahaja Nishta explained is also capable of being misunderstood, because no expression is capable of expressing Samadhi. All expressions being limited, expressions are capable of interpretation and misinterpretation. The expression could be that in Sahaja Samadhi, the Nama and Rupa in the objective world cannot obstruct the experience of the truth. That is Sahaja Samadhi. Sahaja Samadhi means the natural abidance in the self, where even the waking state objects and the appearance, both the manifestation and appearance and disappearance, they don't affect the samadhi sthiti. They don't affect the spurana being identified with. Bhagavan would say elsewhere, the appearance of the world, do not even disturb our identity with humanness as human being. The existence of the world in the waking state certainly does not make us feel like animals or like plants. So it cannot even touch the identification with human being. How can it ever enter the identification with the deathless spirit? It cannot touch, in the sense that this unreal or false world manifestation, which is now seen as appearance and disappearance, can in no way come and interfere with the experience of this Purana, the Samadhi Sthiti, the self. This is the understanding. Not that now we can play with Nama and Rupa, holding this Purana as the Adhara. That is the clarity one has to get, that what is meant by saying that in Sahaja Sthiti, the Jnani is now seen to deal with world and deal with some activities. The body of the Jnani is seen like that. Immediately we cannot take off from that and have that. However, as the Jnani cooks idlis, I can also cook up many things in this world. Then we shift and give reality to the goals of the world, to the Nama and Rupa in the world. Whereas the identity with the self is the key. And the key word there is the Nama and Rupa do not obstruct reality, is the key thing. Therefore, by themselves, they do not have existence. They do not have consciousness of their own. The only one which exists all the time, beyond the waking, dream, and deep sleep, beyond time and place, is the self luminous self. Therefore, that alone is real, is the import of the verse. And it is towards that self that Atma Vicharam removes the ignorance and takes us. Let us sit in Atma Vicharam for the next 15 minutes. May I request Ujjwalji to set the time for us? Namo Ramana sir.
Namo Bhagavate Shri Ramanaya.
We continue the satsang by taking up the second verse selected for us. It is verse number 203. Verse number 203. The minds of devotees who are intoxicated, the minds of devotees who are intoxicated with the boundless love for being are gopikas. The minds of the devotees that are intoxicated with the boundless love for being are gopikas. The heart that completely destroys the ego's dominance in the way that the ruddy flame of lamp attracts and destroys moths is Krishna. The mind that is intoxicated with the boundless love for being are the gopikas. The heart that completely destroys the ego's dominance, the separativeness, in the way that the ruddy flame of a lamp attracts and destroys moths is Lord Krishna, the beloved of the Gopikas. The Gopikas were female devotees who were besotted with love for Krishna. So the Krishna's love for Gopikas and Gopikas' union with Sri Krishna is a topic of great charcha, great argument, great debate amongst the devotees and Jnanamargis. Here, what exactly is the Gopikas 3? The Gopikas 3 is the devotee's mind that is intoxicated with love for what? For the pure being, pure Sat. What do we have in Upadesha Saram? For Sat, in Upadesha Saram, Isha Jivayor Veshadhibida Satsvabhavato Vastu Kevalam. The Ishvara and Jiva, where is the difference? The difference lies in the Stula and the Sukshma Shariras. The Jiva's Stula Sharira is this small body, and the Ishvara's Stula Sharira is the entire sensory cosmos. The Jiva Stula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira contains of some thoughts that have been aggregated and identified with as I, whereas the Ishvara's Sukshma Sharira is omniscient, it knows everything. However, in Satsva Bhava, in pure being, they are both the same. The Gopikas, Tris and Sri Krishna are one and the same. But who is Sri Krishna? Sri Krishna is that heart which makes ego completely, which attracts and absorbs the ego, completely removing all separativeness. Two things it does. It is constantly attracting the egos. So, which is going to win? The ego has temporary existence and consciousness borrowed from the self. The self is constantly throbbing and pulling the ego towards it. It is attracting the ego. Which is going to win? Definitely the self is only going to win. But Bhagavan, of course, says the ego also has to hold the sadhana. The self is constantly holding. So there is no need for the ego to tell you have to hold me. It is constantly throbbing and pulling the ego. But the ego too has to hold the self by asking, who am I? That is where all the Gopikas threes, they merge and be one in union with Sri Krishna, the Hridayam. In the Hridayam, all the separativeness. There are 7 billion, 6.5 billion human beings, trillions of living beings, and trillions of living and non-living beings put together. All of those multiplicities are merely the gold ornaments. Once one learns to see the gold in them, all the differences go and merge in the self. And that is what Atma Vicharam does. Atma Vicharam is the ego offering itself to the Hridayam. The understanding that now I am experiencing tentative existence that is there in waking state, that is there uncontrollably in the dream state, and completely vanishes as a relative existence in the deep sleep. But then existence is there, and once again I am reminded and rejoined with the existence in the waking state. Therefore, the ego realizes that my own existence and my own consciousness are ephemeral or transient. Therefore, in love of pure being, what is it that is true being, that is pure being? It starts tracing the source of the I. There it finds that there is only one source for all the eyes. All the eyes merge in that one source, and that source is called as Hridayam or Sri Krishna. Therefore, Sri Krishna is always in yoga with all living beings. It is not 16,000 Gopikas threes. All the living beings really exist united in Sri Krishna. There is only Krishna, there is only the Hridayam. The 16,000 or trillions of living beings and non living beings, that is merely an appearance as though Viyoga is there from Krishna, and as though we are all struggling with the world and trying to get back to Sri Krishna. This whole journey vanishes in the heart when all separativeness is absorbed in the heart, and the Leela of union with the Gopika Stris vanishes into non existence. That Sri Krishna is always the Hridayam, and there is no Viyoga. That is why Bhagavan asks the sadhana of finding out to whom is Viyoga, to whom is Vibhakti, to whom is Ajnana, is actually the paths of karma, bhakti, and yoga and jnana. Because only if this I feels separate from the heart, then alone those paths appear. But all those paths culminate when the I merges with the source and finds the ever existing heart. It is not that now the story that I was like this, I did all this, so many people helped, then finally I came to the self. The self doesn't feel anything has happened. Nothing has happened. The self remains the same, unchanged, unborn, uncreated, unput together, and therefore with no need for yoga to take place. Only when Viyoga is there, only when Bandham is there, the Mukti is required. Bandha Muktiyati Tamparam Sukham. Vindati Iha Jivastu. All the Gopikas realize that they are never apart from Sri Krishna. In fact, there is only Sri Krishna whose name is heart, whose name is the Atma, and that is where we are taken in self enquiry for the next 15 minutes or so. Let us sit in Atma Vicharam, practice the surrender by first letting go of the thought, by asking for whom is this thought. Then the ego will be available for surrender to the ever present heart. You can ask, who am I? That is the practical laboratory practice of offering the ego to the Hridayam, which is not other than Sri Krishna. Next 15 minutes or so, let us sit in self enquiry. Ujjwalji will trouble you again. Thank you.
नमो भगवते श्रीरमणाय।
Namo Ramana. May I request Venkatesh Deshpande ji to give us the summing up remarks. Namo Ramana, sir.
Namo Ramana. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo, Ishvaraha, Guru Sakshat, Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Vakyam mokshamulam guror kripa. Mokshamulam guror. I think this is a nice two verses, basically talking about what is nitya and what is anitya. What stays forever and what does not. So let's look at Bhagwan's life itself. We take two, three examples from Bhagwan's life and see what he had to tell us. Look at the first experience that I have taken was the experience of his father's death. So look at the father's death. What happened? That in when he was father was alive, and then after a few minutes, father was gone, was dead. So he says that who's my father? Is this body which is lying in front of which is lying there, is that my father? If he is my father, then he is gone. But is that really my father? Is the question that came up to him. So he questioned that point that we are talking about eternally existing nature. He questioned that. And so, oh, the body goes, but my father is not the body. Similarly, his own death experience. Look what happens in his own death experience. Same thing happens. He lies down, he has fear of death, great fear of death. But then what happens? He realizes, actually, I'm not this mortal body that I'm thinking about. And he experiences that who he really is, that Yaham Hamiti Sakshat Atma Rupena Bhati. He experiences the I, and is established in that. And the third example, which many devotees believe, whenever you go to an ashram, if there's a guru there, they always fear that the guru will one day leave them and go. Fear is always there. It happens with absolutely all the great ones. Oh, what will happen? Bhagavan says, where can I go? He told all the great ones, whoever were following him, looking at him as the body. And we know that very great ones left the ashram after Bhagavan left the body. But what is Bhagavan was trying to say? Where can I go? That means he's trying to ask us to question what is eternally existing. This body that you are experiencing because of Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva, and these five senses, is this all real? And this happens to us. Today we are talking about death, but this happens to us when we go to Shamshan Ghat. Somebody passes away, and you go to the crematorium. What happens in the crematorium? There is, you understand what is Nitya and what is Anitya. You suddenly realize, oh, today that's that body, tomorrow it could be my body. But is this body true? This is Anitya. It's not existing all the time. Then you develop Vairagya. It's one very funny thing happens in the crematorium. Most of us must have been in a crematorium. That you develop a deep level of compassion for the person who's left and for the people who are left behind. And deep love, compassion, great love for the person, and all that people who are there, who are from different families and all, they seem like all to be one. They don't feel, you don't feel like everybody, because there's a common thing. Everybody is actually mourning and everybody is praying. So there seems to be a commonness. So the mind seems to move towards the heart. That what Nandakumar was talking about, doing self-enquiry. When you do self-enquiry, who am I? What happens? You're surrendering the mind to the heart. But this same experience you'll have in a crematorium, when all the people from different families, all different people, friends, relatives, all come together, have got a single and truly the compassionate mode at that point of time. and they're all focused in the heart. Nobody is talking, giving lectures at that point of time that this should be done, that should be done. Nobody, everybody is in the heart. So the point really is this proves that what is eternally existing, the eternally what is written in this eternally existing nature, who you really are, that is the truth. And that's what the great ones say, Tattvamasi, you are that. So if they are saying that you are that, then this is the great opportunity after 84 lakh lives, you got a human life to be able to do that. Is to do self-enquiry and offer your mind to the heart. And the more you offer your mind to the heart, then what happens? You will be in deep love, deep compassion. You'll be a very, very compassionate person who's always abiding in the self, abiding in the heart. And the same experiences you have, like Bhagwan had in the death experience, or will you have in a crematorium? The same experience you will have here and now for each one of us, where the mind becomes quiet, mind stills itself, and you realize what is really truly existing in you. No, you won't, then you will not fall for the fake. You will know the truth with absolute certainty that you are the truth. And once you know that you are the truth, then you will know that everything else is a moving thing. It's coming and going. It's coming and going. I'm not going to hold on to anything that's coming and going. I'm going to be always with my nature, which is always existing. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Ramanaya. Namo Ramana.
Namo Ramana, sir. Thank you so much. Namo Ramana Vaibhavji. Namo Ramana Pratnama. May we commence the chanting of Ashtotram. Namo Ramana.
नमो रमण भारद्वाज विश्वनाथ विरचितं श्रीरमणाष्टोत्तर शतनामावलिः अपार सच्चित् सुखवारिराशे यस्योर्मिमात्रं भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि ॐ महासेन महोंशेन जाताय नमः ॐ श्रीरमणाय नमः ॐ गुरवे नमः ॐ अखण्डसंविदाकाराय नमः ॐ महौजसे नमः ॐ कारणोद्भवाय नमः ॐ जगद्धितावताराय नमः ॐ श्रीभूमिनाथस्थलोस्थिताय नमः ॐ पराशरकुलोत्तंसाय नमः ॐ सुन्दरार्यतपःफलाय नमः ॐ कमनीयसुचारित्राय नमः ॐ सहायाम्बा सहायवते नमः ॐ शोणाचलमहोलीनमानसाय नमः ॐ स्वर्णहस्तकाय नमः ॐ श्रीमद्द्वादशान्तमहास्थले लब्धविद्योदयाय नमः ॐ महाशक्तिनिपातेन प्रबुद्धाय नमः ॐ परमार्थविदे नमः ॐ तीव्राय नमः ॐ पितृपदान्वेषिणे नमः ॐ इन्दुमौलिना पितृमते नमः ॐ पितुरादेशतः शोणशैलं प्राप्ताय नमः ॐ तपोमयाय नमः ॐ उदासीनाय नमः ॐ महायोगिने नमः ॐ महोत्साहाय नमः ॐ कुशाग्रदिये नमः ॐ शान्तसङ्कल्पसंरम्भाय नमः ॐ सुसन्दृशे नमः ॐ सवित्रे नमः ॐ स्थिराय नमः ॐ तपक्षपितसर्वाङ्गाय नमः ॐ फुल्लाम्बुजविलोचनाय नमः ॐ चन्द्रिकासितहासश्रीमण्डिताननमण्डलाय नमः ॐ चूतवाट्यां समासीनाय नमः ॐ चूर्णिताखिलविभ्रमाय नमः ॐ वेदवेदान्ततत्त्वज्ञाय नमः ॐ चिन्मुद्रिणे नमः ॐ त्रिगुणातिगाय नमः ॐ विरूपाक्षगुहावासाय नमः ॐ ॐ विराजतचलाकृतये नमः। ॐ उद्दीप्तनयनाय नमः। ॐ पूर्णाय नमः। ॐ रचिताचलताण्डवाय नमः। ॐ गम्भीराय नमः। ॐ परमाचार्याय नमः। ॐ सुप्रसन्नाय नमः। ॐ अभयप्रदाय नमः। ॐ दक्षिणास्य निधाय नमः। ॐ धीराय नमः। ॐ दक्षिणाभिमुखाय नमः। ॐ स्वराजे नमः। ॐ महर्षये नमः। ॐ भगवते नमः। ॐ ईड्याय नमः। ॐ भूमविद्याविशारदाय नमः। ॐ विमलाय नमः। ॐ दीर्घदर्शिने नमः। ॐ आप्ताय नमः। ॐ ऋजुमार्गप्रदर्शकाय नमः। ॐ समदृशे नमः। ॐ सत्यदृशे नमः। ॐ सत्याय नमः। ॐ प्रशान्ताय नमः। ॐ अमितविक्रमाय नमः। ॐ सुकुमाराय नमः। ॐ सदानन्दाय नमः। ॐ मृदुभाषिणे नमः। ॐ दयार्णवाय नमः। ॐ श्रीशोणाचलरिद्बोधस्कन्दाश्रमनिकेतनाय नमः। ॐ सद्दर्शनोपदेश्रे नमः। ॐ सद्भक्तवृन्दपरिवृताय नमः। ॐ गणेशमुनिभृङ्गेन सेविताङ्घ्रिसरोरुहाय नमः। ॐ गीतोपदेशसारादिग्रन्थसञ्चिन्नसंशयाय नमः। ॐ वर्णाश्रममतातीताय नमः। ॐ रसज्ञाय नमः। ॐ सौम्याय नमः। ॐ आत्मवते नमः। ॐ सर्वावनिमतस्थानाम् आराध्याय नमः। ॐ सर्वसद्गुणिने नमः। ॐ आत्मारामाय नमः। ॐ महाभागाय नमः। ॐ मातृमुक्तिविधायकाय नमः। ॐ विनताय नमः। ॐ विनुताय नमः। ॐ विप्राय नमः। ॐ मुनीन्द्राय नमः। ॐ पावकोज्ज्वलाय नमः। ॐ दर्शनादगसंहारिणे नमः। ॐ मौनेन स्वात्मबोधकाय नमः। ॐ ऋचान्तिकरसान्निध्याय नमः। ॐ स्मरणाद्बन्धमोचकाय नमः। ॐ अन्तस्तिमिरचण्डांशवे नमः। ॐ संसारार्णवतारकाय नमः। ॐ शोणादृशस्तुतिद्रष्टे नमः। ॐ हार्दविद्याप्रकाशकाय नमः। ॐ अविच्युतनिजप्रज्ञाय नमः। ॐ नैसर्गिकमहातपसे नमः। ॐ कमण्डलुधराय नमः। ॐ शुभ्रकौपीनवसनाय नमः। ॐ गुहाय नमः। ॐ दण्डपाणये नमः। ॐ कृपापूर्णाय नमः। ॐ भवरोगविषग्वराय नमः। ॐ स्कन्दाय नमः। ॐ देवतमाय नमः। ॐ अमर्त्याय नमः। ॐ सेनान्ये नमः। ॐ पुरुषोत्तमाय नमः। ॐ श्रीरमण भगवते नमः। श्रीरमणाष्टोत्तरशतनामपूजां समर्पयामि। यस्थानोररुणाचलस्य पदयोः स्मृत्याशनिं प्राप्यत दिव्यानुग्रहसुप्रवाहविवशस्तादात्म्यभावं गतः विनिष्टस्वगभीरनित्यतपसा लोकान् पुनास्यैकराट् तस्मै श्रीरमणाय ते नम इदं लोकोत्तरज्योतिषे। ॐ नमो भगवते श्रीरमणाय।
नमो रमना वैभव जी, नमो रमना प्रार्थना, नमो रमना वेंकटेश जी, नमो रमना उज्जवल जी, नमो रमना ऑल।